What is the difference between hitting a draw and hitting a fade? Now for a right-handed golfer, when I hit a draw, the ball starts out to the right-hand side and then it comes back to the target with right to left curvature. Generally speaking, when we hit a draw, we tend to be shallower on the balls. So we hit the ball a bit more level and we don't get as much spin on the ball. When we hit a fade, we tend to be steeper. We tend to be steeper, so we hit down on the ball more, we grab the back of the ball and it spins more, so the fade tends to get just that little bit more spin. Now when I'm hitting a 60-degree wedge, I'm not going to get much shape on the golf ball. Some people might, but I'm not going to get much curve. But if I'm trying to hit a little draw to start out to the right hand side and work back to the ball with a 60-degree wedge, I'm going to get a certain amount of spin on the ball. Because I'm shallower into the ball, I won't quite get as much grab. So if I want the ball to land on the green and release a little bit, maybe the pin's at the back of the green and I'm landing it short of the pin, so it just rolls up to the pin that little bit more. Now, yes, that is a bit advanced, but if I now hit a fade with the same sort of pace into the ball, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down into the ball, and a little bit across it to encourage that fade. Up, down and across. I get a little bit more height. I will tend to get a bit more height with a fade, with a wedge, and I will tend to get more spin because of that downward blow on the golf ball. So if I've got the pin at the front of the green and I want it to stop quicker, I might hit a little bit more of a fade swing to get it to stop that little bit quicker. But if I now go ahead and hit a full swing draw with a 7-iron, I get that high draw coming in, very nice, I like the shape. Spin on that was 5,000. I'm normally looking for about 6,000 on a 7-iron, but with a draw I tend to get a little bit less because of that shallow angle of attack into the ball. I've got 173 carry with that draw. If I now go ahead and hit a fade, where I'm a little bit more held off, I hold the face open a bit more. And okay, it's not a slingy fade, it's only a slight one because I do prefer swinging into a draw-shaped shot. But my spin has gone up to 6,099. I'm about 1,000 revs more spin on a fade. I will tend to, with loft on the club, get more carry distance on a draw, less carry distance on a fade. Because that fade is spinning more, resisting and stopping quicker, the draw is spinning less, cutting through the air and landing and rolling more as well. So when I'm hitting a draw with a drive or I'm lower into the ground, I'm up on the ball a bit more. So I'm getting that upward blow, less backspin mechanism. And I get that shape coming in quite nicely. It's going to land, it's going to roll a lot more because it tends to spin less. If I now go ahead and hit a driver with the fade, I'm going to get the left to right curvature and I'm going to get more spin. The draw there had 1,500 spin, 1,498. If I now go and hit a fade, I'm not as shallow on the ball. I'm coming down to it a bit more. I get a slightly higher launch, I get a higher peak height, so the wind's going to affect that shot a bit more. I've got more spin on the ball, so it lands and stops quicker, which can be good in some cases, but it's not as long as the draw. I've gone up to 3,000 spin, my carry's dropped way down, but sometimes I need that shape to get round something. So I have to do a few adjustments to get more out of the fade. Maybe I need to do a few adjustments to get a bit less out of the draw if I want it to stop quicker. It is generally harder to get maximum distance out of a fade unless you do some very specific movements, like trying to fade the ball like a left-hander's draw. We want to get a fade by hitting up and across the ball to get less spin on it, but that is harder to do with a fade for a right-handed golfer. If you can shape the ball left to right and right to left, then that's fantastic. Just consider that your carry yardages will change from draw to fade. You might want to use them to get the ball to react in different ways into the green. You might want to encourage a certain shape with a driver to get more out of it. Or just understand that we need to manipulate the driver more to get a fade that goes as far as a draw. I might need to have the ball further forward. I might need to lift up on the golf ball to really get that spin rate down. I don't want to be chopping down on it because it will cost them yardage. But they're the differences we have between a draw and a fade. Hopefully they just help you with a bit of knowledge around the golf game. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.